Welcome to the Catch Some Soulshine podcast, and I'm your host, Renee Bova. I'm here to share drastic self-care measures that will help empower you to awaken brilliance after life's darkest moments. I've discovered countless measures that help heal and transform you so that you can live a joyful, empowered life without feeling trapped in the past, without clinging to the opinions of others, and without fear of vulnerability in a community setting. I'm so glad you're here. So grab a cup of coffee because it's time to catch some soulshine. Welcome back. Today I am joined with Tom Paladino, and Tom specializes in energy, the science behind it, the quantum physics, all of that. I don't want to botch it up, so I'm going to let him introduce himself and tell you a little bit about it before we go into a deep dive about how important this is for well-being and the state of the world and everything.
Dawn, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. My honor. Thank you. We're going to speak about energy, scalar energy or scalar light. It's quantum light. It's the energy of the sun and the stars. Now, why is that important? It's the initial energy. It serves as the instructions of the universe. So I have instruments that can harness this energy from the stars. And I utilize it in order to improve soul, mind, and body. So my approach is a technical approach. Technology can be our servant. And if we use it appropriately, it can serve our needs. So my contention is to use scalar light technology to help humanity. That's my goal. I just want to help humanity, nothing else.
Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of I'm a research buff. I love reading, and the research is clear that light energy does help increase mood and stability with mental health. They have light boxes that people can use. So we're energetic beings. Our cells are made of energy. That's what keeps us alive.
Yes, we are. Thank you so much. So what are we getting at? Well, why not start at the top of creation, which is light? Again, I work with the light of the sun and the stars. I don't work at the chemical level. I work at the level of light, which influences everything, which really is responsible for everything. Now, you put all of that into consideration. I think we have a great deal to benefit from this emerging technology. Nikola Tesla was the first man to harness this energy. In essence, people, this is free energy from the stars. That's clean. It has no pollutant. It's safe. So this is the new paradigm that we're shifting into.
I love that.
Yeah.
So how can so I know you study it and you're harnessing it.
Yes.
So what type of technology are you utilizing this for?
Yeah, okay. So how does this benefit humanity? That's the whole point. Well, right now I'm working with what I call energetic health. In the future, I hope to be able to light up a building with this energy. But let's speak about energetic health. Working with people, more specifically, working with a person's energy field or their force field or their, let's call it the if you will, the matrix that composes that person. So what does all that mean? We're not working biologically. We always work with the realm of intelligence or intention. This instrument behind me sends broadcast information, intelligence. All of my work is non-physical. The energy is non-physical. The recipient is the non-physical person. Meaning what? I don't work biologically. I work with the aura or a force field. Some people call that the matrix. Others call that the spirit. So now we're looking at a new avenue for health. Not biological, but etheric, auric, perhaps even angelic. Through intelligence, through instructions. So I'll demonstrate once we get into this.
Okay. So I studied a practice called healing touch,
Yes.
and it was developed by a nun and a nurse.
Mhm.
And it goes exactly with what you're talking about, that we are energetic beings, and our physical body, our body or our soul or our self extends way beyond our physical body.
Yeah.
So some of the things that I did with this practice was manipulate that energy with my patients to, maybe clear out the clutter, or, help them relax. They felt relaxed, but in essence, what I was doing is what you're talking about, clearing out that energetic field, making sure that you can flow, you're not caught up somewhere. And I saw amazing results with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank
So
you.
with your technology, is
Yes.
this something that you have, like a something in their home that they use, or how does that work?
Yeah. Right now it's centrally located because my laboratory is immense, and there are, if you will, other apparatuses that I use with this instrument. So all totaled, if you look at my laboratory, it's 2,000 square feet. So it's no small endeavor. So what am I getting at? I cannot reproduce my laboratory. So how do I work with this? Now remember, this is energy, and all of this is non-physical instructions. I never work with a human being or an animal. I work with a photograph of a human being or an animal. That's right. My photograph has energy, has my aura, has my signature on it. Again, we're not working with a person in a biological sense. We're working with the force field, energy field. Some people call that the matrix of a person. So we're leaving it here at this level. We never want to step down our work to the biological level. We're keeping it at the level of primal energy, of primal intelligence. And in so doing, all of our work is non-physical, and we can work through the energy field incorporated on a photograph, not with the physical human being. I love my work because the chemical realm, the biological realm, is very difficult. It's much easier to work at a higher level of intelligence than have to rely upon chemical reactions. So to
Love
keep it
that.
simple, to keep it simple, why not work at the level of intelligence?
Well, and for people that are not quite grasping it, maybe because of religious convictions or whatever, you think about a prayer or a prayer chain, right? What are you doing?
Right.
You are sending out energy, love, peace to somebody maybe across the world. And I used to say, I can't do anything about the wars that are going on, but that's just not true,
That's true.
because I can.
Yes, you can. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And that's
Mhm.
what this instrument is. It's consciousness, it's prayer. Remember, it's non physical. We're working
Yeah.
at the realm of non physical reality, intelligence, or consciousness. We're not working at the lower order of chemicals, of physical consequences. Now,
Right.
here's the
Right.
comparison. Would you rather walk across the country or fly across the country? Well, if you have to walk, that's physically exerting. If you can fly, that's so much easier because you no longer have those physical barriers. Well, why not work at the etheric level, the non-physical level, with our body, with our soul, with our mind? Why do
Right.
we step it down to the chemical level? It doesn't make
Right.
sense to me.
Yeah, I'm totally on board with what you're saying. And, first it takes getting people to understand it, like what we're talking about today, because everyone can make a change or have change made upon them with this energetic exchange.
Yes.
It's like when you go into the room with somebody and you can just feel like, ugh, I got to step away from that because that is not good for me.
Yeah.
Or, on the reverse side, you can walk into a room and you're immediately drawn to somebody, maybe you
Yes.
don't even know, because you're feeling that positive, wonderful energy that they're putting off, and you connect with that.
Right. Some people can do that. Animals do that. You and I realize that some animals can pick up on a personality. There's
Yeah.
some animals that shy away from people. Why? They're malevolent. They have evil intent.
My, and I, I say this all the time. I go, I like animals. I do. I really do. But I could take it or leave it. So my kid got this cat, right? He moves out. Guess who has the cat?
Yeah.
Every night I sit down on the couch and that cat is on my lap.
Yeah. Yeah. And the cat knows that you love it.
Yeah, I know. I do love him now.
Yeah, the cat is very prudent. The cat they can pick up on your moods. When I'm in a good mood, the cat knows it.
Yeah. Yeah. We left one time, came home, and I'm calling and calling the cat. I'm like, where's the cat? Oh my gosh, did she get out? I don't know. She was mad. So she hid from me.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah, she would not come out for a day.
No kidding.
Sorry, we left you.
No kidding. Yeah.
Yeah. So with your instrumentation, how does that play into, working with the photograph of someone?
Okay, so keep in mind this is a branch of physics that's not taught at the university level. It's a new branch of physics. So the new branch of physics says everything has an energy signature, including a photograph. Well, why work with a biological person when I can work with the energy signal on a photograph? What's the advantage of working again with a photograph? There's no biological consequences. You cannot do anything wrong to a photograph. A photograph cannot have an allergic reaction. Okay. And secondly, why come to a laboratory? Why get on a plane and come to my laboratory when you can email me a photograph and I have it in 3 minutes? I can just print it out. Okay, so if I place a person's photograph instrument, that photograph is enjoying right now scalar energy. There's so much energy coming off that instrument, scalar energy can illuminate a light bulb.
Mm-hmm.
That's the amount of energy that I feel right now through my aura or my force field. So again, it's not a biological application. It's working on our aura or their energy field. A lot of people think of the energy field extends maybe 10 feet, 20 feet from your person. We have to define that, but suffice to say, this is a way that I can send intelligence through my aura or any person's aura.
That's really cool. Really cool.
It is.
So how many people have you worked with? And do you have any, data or testimonials from people?
There's thousands of testimonies that are coming in, and most of them are favorable. Why? It's divine energy. It only can do good. I don't instruct the energy. The energy is self-appointed, and you can't have a toxic shock. You can't have inflammation from your photograph. You can only have an uplifting response. Okay, so put all that together.
Mm-hmm.
We have thousands of testimonies. Some people are saying that there's a process we've developed in which we can actually pinpoint on a photograph the energy signal of, a virus. I can actually identify the herpes virus on my photograph and eradicate it. That's right. In the informational field. Well, lo and behold, people say after I work with their photograph and we can eliminate the energy field of herpes, people no longer have reactions. They no longer have the symptoms of herpes. People even have test results where they no longer have a viral load for herpes. Now, You cannot explain that by Newtonian physics. This is not conventional medicine. This is a branch of physics. This is groundbreaking research in which disease patterns, including the herpes virus, can be identified on my photograph or anybody's photograph because it's your bilocated version. Imagine if you look into a mirror. The mirror reports who you are. My photograph is my mirror. Whatever my soul, mind, and body are reporting as a human being, my photograph reports that in real time. So my soul, mind, and body are embedded upon the photograph. Yes, that's what I mean. Yes, and this is what I've discovered. And my predecessor, a man by the name of Galen Hieronymus, with his instruments, has likewise discovered that. Mm-hmm. So there is indeed a spirit world that is our, if you will, our exact copy, not biologically, energetically.
Yeah. I mean, this is really a hard concept for some people to grasp, but the proof is in the pudding.
Yes,
one of the exercises that I've been practicing is this future gratitude for things that are already happening to me in my life in the future and being thankful for those. And I can't even imagine some of the things that are coming, but I'm grateful for them. And so I put that out there, and lo and behold, they start happening.
Yes, they do. Because that's your intention. Those are the instructions. If I can instruct my photograph to seek out and destroy the herpes virus, then our intention, we could have a great intention to have a good day, have an intention to have a successful marriage or a successful business. Those intentions follow through. And as long as people don't stand in the way of that intentions usually come to pass. Yes, people can subvert your intention. Avoid those people because your intent is greater than their malevolent intent. If they're malevolent, move aside. You just keep pursuing your intent, and it works.
Mm-hmm. And not only that, the fact that you believe it will make it possible. Yes. But if you don't believe it, it won't be possible.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
It's a practice. It's a practice that, takes practice to do it repeatedly until it just becomes a part of your consciousness.
You have to act upon faith. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You've got to act upon faith.
Right.
And faith or programming, or call it positive thinking, whatever you want to call it, has a scalar wave. When you think, it's a scalar wave. It's scalar energy. Everything is energy, including a thought, including an intention. And when you set that intention, it just manifests. Right. And it does manifest as long as people don't block it. If people try and block your manifestation, your heartfelt desires, remove those people. Get them out of the way so you can manifest and you can achieve what you need to achieve in life.
Mm-hmm. I saw a study once about tears, and they would take happy tears and put them on a microscope and examine them under the microscope, and then they would take angry, when somebody's angry or somebody's sad, and they would examine all of those. And they all looked completely different because of the energy that was in the tear.
Yeah. Various people have said that they can take water and they can project their emotions into water. And you put that water under a microscope and you see geometric patterns. And
yes.
Right. Typically, when you have a happy thought and you look at the water under magnification, it's beautiful. But if you're angry, or if you have some type of, if you will, malevolent intent and you project it into water, the water looks distorted. It looks ugly. It is not aesthetic. Okay, well, that's a great indication that our thoughts impart reality. The way we think, that's what we're projecting to the world.
The same with, I don't know if you've ever seen those studies where they have two different plants.
Yeah.
And they water them the same. They have the same amount of sunlight, the same soil. All the conditions are the same. But one plant is, talked to and nurtured and, given this positive, loving energy, and the other plant isn't. And the plant that is given the positive energy and love and talked to flourishes, and the other one doesn't. So I'm just using these examples for people because sometimes it's hard for people to grasp onto these new ideas and new technologies, but it's real.
Yeah, it is. If you've ever seen a professional sales staff, they always want their staff to be happy and up. They don't want any negativity in their boardroom or in their conference room, because they know that projects out to their showroom. That they know that projects out when they're on the phone with a customer. Now, this is training. This is training that you'll receive when you're working in sales or you're working in some type of marketing. You always look at the positive, and you always accentuate the positive. If there's something negative, you correct it or you move on. Well, there's a science behind that, and it works. It works for people in business. It works for people who believe in intention. There are some people who will only conduct business on certain astrological signs. What those signs are, I don't know. But this is their belief, because they want to work in harmony with nature. Oh, okay, there's credence to all that. I get that.
So you're collecting, is it solar energy, or what? What are you actually doing with this?
Right. It's the energy of the sun and the stars. It always starts as scalar energy, and then it will start to break down to electricity and magnetism. Okay. Sadly, in this world, we've concentrated on the inferior energy, with electricity and magnetism. Why not keep it at the primal stage with the scalar energy? The great scientist Nikola Tesla, he began his career with AC electricity, but he ended it with the, if you will, radiant, what he called radiant energy, the energy of consciousness. He no longer, when Tesla was working later in his life, he no longer was working with any type of movement. The movement is from the stars. So Tesla graduated from a motor that would move to the stars that do not move. The stars produce the energy. So why work with an induction motor when you can work with the star?
Mm-hmm. Wow. Fascinating.
It is. You see where I'm going with all this? We need motors. Here, this instrument is on. Yeah. It has no moving parts. Right. I'm capturing the energy from the stars. There's no armature. There's no turbine. There's no moving parts. It's
the way of the future.
That's the future. Thank you so much. You took the words out of my mouth, Dawn. Yeah. You see the big picture here. It's a lot easier when you don't have to oil a car or gas up a car. Right. When you don't have to manage all the chemical and all the mechanistic processes. It's so much easier working with non-physical instructions.
Right. And the same with the human body, right? I mean, I'm in the medical field, and
yes,
I know for a fact that if you exercise regularly, feed yourself the proper nutrients, get out in the sunshine and in nature, the serotonin levels will be just as high as if I give you a pill.
Yes.
The problem is people don't want to do all that other stuff.
No, they don't. Sometimes they're lazy. I don't know. It's so easy to eat organic, natural food. Just don't buy junk food at the grocery store. Try not to eat processed food. This is not that difficult once you train yourself.
Right, right. Wow, I am fascinated with all of this. How do people get in touch with you to,
I like to prove what I'm doing. Yes, this is
okay.
cutting edge. Yeah, these instruments are unique. My website is scalarlight.com. SCALAR, scalarlight.com. The website allows anybody in the world to email us your photograph. You can include your family, get their permission, and we'll treat you for free for 15 days. Your quantum field, your energy field. We treat the energy field on the photograph. And you decide. I'll let you be the judge of quantum healing. Okay? It's not biological, it's informational. And it's perfect because you do not have to do anything. Just absorb the information, so to speak. You don't have to worry about a biological consequence. We're working with your aura, your energy field. It's so much easier.
I love this.
Yeah.
This is so great. I want to thank you for seeking me out because this has been a really inspiring talk, and I love what you're doing. And I will have that link in the notes below this podcast. So anybody that wants to, find out for yourself about this quantum energy, which is real,
Yes,
go ahead and send a picture and see what you discover.
Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you so much again for joining me. And I thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe because that really does matter. Leave a comment on YouTube. And if you're watching this on Spotify or Apple or any podcast site, please subscribe to that channel and leave a comment. Rate the podcast, and I will see you next week. But as always, I have some freebies. So if you would like to download a free 11 affirmation journal, please see that link in the show notes, and you can start your journey of personal healing. See you next week.